sir.
I have a microphone for you. I have a microphone right there. It's for you. Ah! No, we talked about this backstage.
Forget about the genius part.
You don't need. Simon, get away. Mace, 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 mace.
By the way, they're killing it on these music cues. It's amazing.
This is the most theatery theater we have ever
Isn't it amazing?
done a panel in. This is fantastic.
I know, I like the numbers. All right, I need you to cross down to 8. You know what I mean? The numbers for walking.
Oh yeah. Actually, I've never been on a stage before, so I don't know.
Right.
But
This is downstage.
and look, and it's sold out.
Sold out. Give a shout out to the balcony real quick.
Hey! In nosebleed seats, how are you up there? Boy, yeah, they're doing a closed circuit overflow.
Oh yeah?
On the Jumbotron over by the water slides, which is really cool, yeah, because so many people wanted to come and couldn't get in.
Hey, you should have done that. You could have done your
doing that.
You could have done your one-person show here.
I could have done my one-person show with one person in the audience.
Exactly. That's what makes it a one-person show. All right, bye. Have fun.
Bye. I'll miss you. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hi. Who among you has come the furthest to be here today? Have we already determined this? You raised your hand. You raised your hand. Okay, only one way we can actually settle this. You two come up here and fight to the death. Well, so you have come from Australia, not very far. Where have you come from? Fuck, that sucks, huh? But you went the wrong way around the world, right? He's been to Australia. So if we... Okay. How's everybody doing? How's the... Is that true? Because a lot of times you say, like, if somebody has a microphone, they say to the audience, how's everybody doing? Everybody kind of feels obligated to cheer like that. Let's just do the totally honest response this time. How's everybody doing? This group over here was very honest. They're like, well, exhausted? Yeah. Well, mercifully, they don't like make us row on this ship or something. If this was a Viking ship, like a traditional Viking ship cruise, not Viking cruise lines, of course, but that could be a lot of work. I went on another supernatural cruise. I'm exhausted. I mean, I have to admit my arms look pretty good, but well, some of us cast members have been talking about how, okay, I'll be honest with you. We all thought, we didn't just think it, we said to one another, what the fuck are we doing? This is gonna be a total disaster. And, right. You probably thought the same thing, but you bought a ticket anyway. And that's right. I like your spirit. Yes. But all of us are like, well, this is actually totally fun. We should do this again. There's something like it. Because now that we see what it's like, I think that we were like thinking about, you know, like those cruise ships that got trapped in COVID or, you know, things like that. Like the horror stories that you hear. Poop cruise. I mean, honestly, we did talk about poop cruise. Does everybody know about poop cruise? Of course you do. They probably like play a little video about it as well, there is a documentary, but no, it was really. Yeah, I bet they changed their name. It's now the Sea Flush. Well, I heard you. I got here early because I'm always early. And I heard you all talking about art and making art. And I happen to have brought a book that I love to breakfast this morning, which is The Work of Art by Adam Moss. So whoever was asking the question about being creative, who was that? Who asked the question?
Well,
I don't know. So these guys were saying you have to write every day, and like,
Oh, that was
you. Don't listen to them. They don't fucking know. I mean, why would you ask them? So there's this book, The Work of Art by Adam Moss. I love it. I bought 12 copies and gave to friends for Christmas last year because it's just awesome. And even though it's a very expensive book and very heavy, actually the book is so heavy that it ended up costing more to ship the fucking thing to people than it did to buy it. But it's a very good book, and I'm interviewing Adam Moss for my new Substack next week, and I'm so excited about it because he's just such a fascinating character, but also he talked to the most interesting artists in the world about exactly that question of like how do you make your art, which is really cool to hear. This Substack project has been really cool for me because I have discovered, and this is a trick anybody can use, but if you what I would love to know what was going on in the speaker's mind in this interlocution that you had last night. Like, what have I made someone do?
It was a secret.
It's a secret, a well-kept secret.
We signed an NDA.
Any what? Well, I'm a big fan. I like snorkeling. I like spearfishing. I don't know that anybody would want to go spearfishing with me. Has anyone spearfished? It's quite fun. I was here. You would?
Yes.
Well,
I would.
that's because you looked me in the eyes. You did look at me in the eyes. I see. Well, there you go. So now you're just basically forever gonna do what I tell you. I was in the Bahamas. I came to the Bahamas 2 years ago just because it was Emily's birthday. She happened to come visit. Actually, maybe it was 3 years ago. I can't remember. It was 2 or 3 years ago. She came to visit me when I was filming in Atlanta, and it was her birthday. She got there, and I was like, yeah, I didn't even get a cake. Like nothing. I had nothing for her. And then I got a call from production, and they were like, Misha, I am so sorry, but we've had to switch the schedule, and we'll need you in Tuesday. We'll need you in Wednesday, and oh, it looks like not Monday, not Tuesday. And all of a sudden I had 4 days off. And I was like, oh, thank you. I mean, that's terrible. So I immediately went online and looked, and there was a direct flight to North Eleuthera, which is an island in the Bahamas. And it was like a few hours later. And I was like, honey, as a surprise, I planned this trip to the Bahamas for your birthday. And then we flew to the Bahamas, and like, you know, at the airport, I'm like trying to book an Airbnb, trying to like, nothing planned. But it was so awesome. And I went spearfishing, and I have some photos of like, I have lobsters on spears, which was pretty cool. Anyway, I don't know. You're stuck with me, so I'll just ramble. Yes? I don't know her. Oh, it's one of those books in the religious cults and knitting section of the bookstore, right? So for those who didn't hear, the question was this cult member, knitting cult woman, said that joy is a form of resistance to fascism or totalitarianism. And I actually totally think that's true, and I think it's important because when, and it has shown up time and time again. I mean, it's part of why, for instance, in the former Soviet bloc, artists were always deployed to work for the state. It wasn't like there was independent art. Art was all co-opted for the purpose of the state because threads of like creative expression that were independent of the state were threatening, right? Because they could bring this independent joy. And I think when you are, I think that there's an expectation. I think we all have this expectation that when like things get hard, we by default need to get miserable. And I don't think that's true, and I think it's a form of defeat. Because when you give up, that's when you get miserable. But when you still have hope, you can be joyful. And it's something that I have really thought was important for a long time. Like, even Gish, for me, was kind of an expression of a version of that idea. Because I wanted to, with that project, I wanted to do creative expression. I wanted to help push people out of their comfort zones to see like, oh, we actually, there are different ways to be in the world. And I wanted to raise money for big projects that would have a positive, like a very clear charitable positive impact on people. And that process of like fundraising money for charitable enterprises is often kind of miserable in the world. It's like, it's a slog, but you do it because you have to, because you know that you should, because that's what good people do. But actually, if you turn it into a game and you make that process itself joyful, it imbues it with more energy, and it actually makes it more successful and more sustainable. So there's so many reasons not to get like dragged down into the mire of hopelessness and misery. And also, it's like that's not the right way to look at it's the wrong way to look at the world, honestly. Because not all is lost. Things are shitty, things get shitty, but over the sweep of time of human history, we've gone through terrible phases and we've come back out again, and we've gone through terrible phases again and we've come back out again. And from my vantage point, we're going through like a kind of shitty phase in our country right now. I think that pretty much most people in the United States would say that, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, and like everybody agrees that it's kind of a shitty chapter in our nation's history. And yet, we've gone through those chapters before. I don't like it when people say, like, this has never happened before. This particular thing has never happened before, but we've also gone through terrible things in our country's history in the past. We had the Civil War, where brothers were killing brothers. We had McCarthyism. We had the Chinese Exclusion Act. We had Jim Crow. We had, we had Japanese internment camps. We had so many bad things happen in America. We had like a pattern of lynching across the American South. Like we've never been perfect. So to pretend that we have and that this is some aberration is also delusional. Like, carry on, figure it out. The pendulum's going to swing back and forth. Carry on, yeah. Yes.
Great question.
You know, I wish I could. I don't really remember. Like, what's so delightful about that is that within that character, on screen, you often couldn't tell which direction it was because like he took such delight in both scenarios, right? It wasn't like one was like all soft and cuddly and the other was fire and brimstone. It was on both versions he was like, So I actually can't quite remember. I can't remember any specific decisions that I made. I can't remember anything from the show. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Hasbro.
Hi, Hasbro.
Back when you first had the scene with the pizza man, I worked for a place called Pizza Guys.
No shit, really?
I died laughing for like an hour. I had a lot of episodes. Anyways, have you ever been filming a scene and not been able to really get through it because you couldn't stop laughing?
Oh my God, so many times. It was, I think that Warner Brothers probably had to spend over the course of the filming of the series. If I had to guess, like, I'll take a guess. I think they probably spent in overtime for the crew $15 million because of our fucking around. And a lot of it was because I was laughing. Like, I couldn't stop laughing. Very early on when I got on Supernatural, Jared and Jensen decided, new kid, like, let's haze him a little bit. Let's make him laugh while the camera is on him. One important thing to remember about how filming television works is that the cameras, we do a master shot in some scenes, which is like the camera is off in the corner and it shows the whole scene and everybody is in that frame. And during those takes, master shot, everybody is serious. We get through the scene. It's usually the first take that we do of a scene too. Do the master shot, and then you slowly push in and get closer on the characters. Everybody's very serious, and that moment gives you a false sense of hope. You're like, oh, we're gonna get through this scene. And then the camera pushes in, and when the camera pushes in, you're on one side. They call it you're on one side or you're on the other side. So you're on Jared and Jensen. If there's Misha and Jared and Jensen in a scene, it would be often me opposite the two of them. They're sort of standing close to each other. I'm standing facing them. Cameras would be on Jared and Jensen. We'd do a few more takes. They would be serious because the cameras were on them. And then we turn around. They call it turning around. We turn around. Takes like 25 minutes, 30 minutes for the lighting setup to turn around. It's the big pause in your scene. And now the camera's on me. And now it's a fucking shit show. Because Jared and Jensen are just fucking with me off camera. And very early on, they discovered that I was constitutionally unable to not laugh. Jim Beaver, they gave up on because the man has no feelings. So they could do anything to Jim Beaver and he would just plow on through the scene. And of course, eventually, they gave up hope and just stopped messing with him because there was no payoff. I unfortunately reinforced the bad behavior by constantly laughing, and it was relentless. And for some reason they fed off of each other. So it's like if it was just a scene with Jensen, no problem. If I looked at a script, I was like, oh, thank God, it's just Jensen in the scene. It's gonna be fine. If it was just Jared, it would be bad, but not that bad. But if it was me, Jared, and Jensen, forget about it. And Jared was just particularly relentless. He would also do things while it was like, so one of the things that you have to do in a close-up is, if you're the off-camera actor, you stand right behind the camera. If you've seen like film and TV cameras, right? They have this square box, right? And then the lens is inside, and that square box, it's called the matte box, and it prevents glare from lights from hitting the lens. So there's this little square box that's right around the lens. And when you're doing a close-up, the person who's off camera stands like sometimes with the matte box like half covering their face. You want the eyes of the actor who's on camera to be really close to the lens, but not actually looking in the lens. And so Jared would be right next to the camera, but also, ergo, right next to the camera operator. And he would often take a pair of tweezers and start plucking nostril hairs or ear hairs from the camera operator. And if it was a handheld shot, Now he has to keep the camera steady. It's resting on his shoulder. And fuck, there's like somebody yanking ear hair out of his ear. And me on the other side, I'm watching this, and I'm trying to be like, Sam, what are you doing? It was a very difficult environment to work in, needless to say. Yes?
I was just wondering, since you've got the opportunity to film again with Jared Jensen and the boys, I was just wondering if there's, are you in one episode, multiple episodes, and is there anything that you can tell us about that experience on a different set with being back with them?
Yeah, we're in international waters, so Amazon Studios can't get me here. It is funny, like on Supernatural, it was like, don't mention that there's an apocalypse coming, I guess, or I don't know, whatever. Like they didn't care what we did. But on The Boys, oh my God. It's like the CIA. We cannot talk about anything. We filmed one episode together, and it's really just half an episode. And so that's a spoiler right there. And it was, we were filming in this place, and it had a quite grand staircase where we were filming, and we were filming down at the bottom of this staircase, and Phil Segrisha was directing that episode, and as the three of us, Jared Jensen and I, descended the stairs, Phil and the crew and some of the other cast were already downstairs, and he said, "Everybody, okay, hold up, pause the work, everybody, pause the work. Jared, Jensen, Misha, before we get started today, I just want you to apologize to everyone." For the unprofessional demeanor that you're going to bring to this very professional set. But it wasn't like our house to fuck around in, so we were actually totally well behaved in the scheme of things. Phil did have us do our scene together where it was just the three of us, because we have like one or two scenes where it's really just the three of us. He had us do it as Sam, Dean, and Cass. I'm sure that'll make it on some sort of blooper reel. Yeah. But it was fun. It was it'll be what can I tell you about it? I spoiled a lot right there. There's a staircase. There's a railing. We're not the only kind of cast. We're not the only casting choices in that episode that will be eye-catching, or maybe less interesting than some of the other casting choices in that episode. So, what's that? My voice, just my ordinary voice. It was like, "Hey, soldier boy." Yes. I taught you how to do the magic knot at a convention? Yeah. The magic knot? I get so now I have basically 5 children because my partner Emily had 3 kids, foolishly, and then I have my 2, and so between us there are 5. And some of them refuse to do the magic knot. And I am so furious about it, because it's such a good knot. Isn't it the best knot? I think maybe I should just do another magic knot demonstration, because this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of life skill that everybody should have. Oh my God, this is totally worth all the money you paid to be on this cruise right here. Because this is gonna change your life. Anybody who has shoelaces nobody has any shoelaces. They're fake shoelaces. the only you have shoelaces. Thank you. You have yarn. That's not going to work. Okay, so. Well, this is hopeless. Okay, well, if you have shoes with laces, this is for you. The rest of you just look on enviously. So, it's very simple. But so I'm using the magic knot right now. And the great thing about it is, you see how bulbous this knot is? How gorged? If you pull, it looks like a double knot, but look at this. Magic, right? So you start with the regular half hitch at the beginning, and then you keep going as if you're doing a regular knot, and I'm starting to pull through. If I cinch this up, it would be just a regular shoelace knot, right? But instead, I just go looping through this loop one more time, and it never comes untied until you gently pull the strings. Life-changing, right? Right? All of the countless hours that you spent squandering, seemingly, watching Supernatural just paid off.
There's actually, because we can't make a double knot on the Sabbath, and so that actually
It's a loophole. It's an Orthodox Jews are the ones that figured this out, probably. Yeah. You're welcome. Why the fuck can't you do a double knot on the Sabbath? But isn't a regular shoelace tying a regular? Isn't that working?
So it's not working. So if it becomes loose with one pull, it's not considered tying as solid.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, that's amazing. So that's a big. Yes. I can tell.
I hate to be a big mom right now. Okay. My 9-year-old loves golf.
Oh, really?
Devastated that there's not going to be a second season, but is there a possibility that you would like Harvey Dent again?
Well, I would love to. I think at this point it's in James Gunn's court, and James Gunn, I think, hates with a passion the CW and anything that ever was made on it. So I'm probably dead in the water in that department. But if anybody has any blackmail that we could use against James Gunn, maybe he was in the Epstein files, something like that. Maybe we can figure out how to manipulate him into casting me against his will. That would be wonderful. I did really enjoy it. I had so when we were wrapping Gotham Knights, which I don't even remember when that was. Apparently, was that 2 years, 3 years ago? It was a while ago, probably 3 years ago. When we were wrapping, James and Chad, the showrunners and creators of the show, and I said, well, when we get back to LA, let's have dinner. And 3 years later, we still hadn't done it. And we finally got together for dinner a few weeks ago, and they came to where I live, which is in Santa Barbara, which is like an hour and a half from LA, and I felt kind of guilty because I was like, oh, well, I can meet you halfway, and they're like, no, we'll come. So we had dinner. It was a lovely dinner, and they said at the end, they said, we have a little something for you. And I thought that they maybe had a crew gift, like a little pin or something like that. That we went out to their car, and Chad had made a double-necked electric guitar. Had made it, and it's a working, very beautiful double-neck electric guitar. Because I had my guitar with me when I was on set in my little dressing room, and it's a Harvey Dent guitar. So one neck is slightly melted and screwed up, and there's even newspaper clippings of Gotham and Harvey Dent on it, and it's it's the coolest fucking thing, but also it had to have taken 40 hours to make. It was such a beautiful work of it was the sweetest gesture. I should post a picture of it. Thank you for mentioning that. I will. Note to self. Yes. There are a few movies that I've like wanted to show my kids because I loved them and I want to like I want to introduce them to something that was like wonderful